And second one is the reuse, that finding the new uses for the materials and the products that would otherwise be discarded, thereby extending their lifespan and reducing the needs for the new resources. So, can anybody give me an example that how can we reuse any type of the solid waste? Yes, please. Can anybody tell me that which type of the item we can reuse in our house or at the industrial level?
The wood,
Uh,
wood, wood is there. Metal waste is there. Wooden waste is there. Then what else?
Okay,
Some
next. Okay, yeah, the wood. Okay, Mr. Khan, you are telling me the wood is the we can reuse the wood, but can you tell me how can we reuse the wood?
like we can use for the when we are in the construction field, what we are initiating, we are using this wood waste to make a temporary facility or welfare facility where the worker can take rest. We are initiating, and we are advising the worker to build some chairs, to build some stand where they can put their tools, where they can use for the storage of their tools, equipment, and drinking station. Such type of wood we are trying to maximize as much as we can use to use in the welfare facility for the construction site and for the workers. And the metal waste, like we are using, asking them to make a permanent and mobile type of metal that can be used for barricade, providing the barricade, provide the signages. So instead of uh, generating a huge amount of waste for the landfill, we are trying to maximize and use at the work site. And
Yes.
in some places, like we have done in the Cornish side, in Jubel, in Raspanura side, that we have initiated, and we have make some benches, and we have provided this in the Cornish for the for the people, for the society, where they can come and they can sit and they can enjoy the environment. So such type of initiative we have taken in the past.
Yeah, I'm very glad to know that you are doing such a great thing for the environment and you are reusing the wood. And yes, Rosario, you want to say something?
Actually, ma'am, just to share in our industry in precast. So what we are doing, if there are some precast elements that is already not intended to use, we are breaking the precast concrete. Then we are utilizing the reinforcement what is inside, and what are the strands what is inside. Then for the concrete, we are digging it to be used for blinding. So at least we are minimizing our waste with regards to our products, ma'am.
All right. So, Mr. Reis, you want to say something?
No, that's okay. Like we already had enough examples, so I'm
All
fine.
right. So moving towards the next one, that the recycling, which is basically a process in which the waste material transformed into the new products are the material that can be used again, and that reducing the need for the new resources and diverting the waste from the landfills. Because for landfill we need huge space, so it is a very good option so that we can divert the waste from the landfill. And the next is again the energy conservation, the energy recovery, which I have been already discussed, that you can use the waste and you can break down the waste with the help of the bacteria in anaerobic conditions, and which generate the methane gas from the organic matter. So the next is the treatment and disposal. So the treating waste to reduce its volume or toxicity and disposing of it in a safe and environmental responsible manner, such as landfills. The landfill is basically a safe environment remedy. So you can go for the landfills if there are not any other options. So you can go for the landfill. And then which is next is the life cycle approach. So life cycle approach involves the considering the entire life cycle of a product from production to disposal when designing the waste management systems. So when you are going to design any waste management, you must aware about that you are going to design the entire life cycle of any products, of any thing. You are going to design a waste management plan, so from collection to disposable to the waste management system. So these are the entire process in which you are going through before being on a practical platform. So the polluter pay principle, this principle encourage the waste generator to internalize the cost of the waste management and disposal, which can incentivize them to adopt the more sustainable waste management practices. So again, these are the some methods. I'm going to just tell you the names that we are going to reduce the source, we are going to recycle the products, and there is a method which is the composting, and I will tell you detail in the next slide, and the waste to the energy conversion method, and these two methods is going to discuss in details in the next slides. So these are the basically six management strategies through which you can manage the solid waste. So number one is the landfill, number two is the incineration, the third one is the waste compaction, and the fourth one is the biogas generation. Fifth option for us is the composting, and the last one is the vermicomposting. So, first of all, what is incineration? So, incineration is a process of controlled combustion of the garbage to reduce it to the incombustible matter such as ash and the waste gas. And the exhaust gases from this process may be toxic, hence, it is treated before being released into the environment. So this process reduces the volume of the waste by the 90%, which is considered as one of the most hygienic method because it's an enclosed instrument in which you are going to treat the waste and you are generating the energy. So this is one of the most hygienic method of the waste disposal, and in some cases the heat generated is used to produce the electricity. However, some consider this method is not quite environmental friendly because because there is a generation of the greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide uh, when we are uh, when we are incinerating the waste. So these two gases are produced, but again it's very helpful to manage our waste. This is an incinerator. You can see it's the real image of the incinerator, and the main basic principle of this that it follow the principle of the thermal treatment, and it has a separate thermal treatment chamber which is known as the primary chamber where the waste has been fed into the inlet, and there is another chamber which is known as the secondary chamber, and first the waste has been fed into the primary chamber, and where it is has been rotated and it has been decomposed by the thermal energy, and after that it has been entered into the secondary chamber, and then it entered into the recombustion chamber which has been positioned at the rear of the kiln. So this is basically the principle. Okay, here is one thing is you are going to discard the solid waste, but in a very in such a clean manner, so there is no byproducts are formed except these type of the gases which are creating a little bit the air pollution. But again, it's one of the method which has been adopted to manage the solid waste. The second method is the waste compaction. The waste materials such as cans and the plastic bottles are compacted into the blocks and sent for the recycling. So this process prevents the oxidation of the metal and reduces the airspace need, thus making the transport and positioning very easy and feasible for the transportation and for the driver. So the process of transportation is very easy with the help of the waste compaction. The next one is the biogas generation. So can you, if you see the picture, you can see that there is a balloon above this big chamber. So this balloon is basically the balloon of the gas, which is known as methane, and which has been produced by the anaerobic bacteria, which has been in this green chamber. So with the help of the microbes, you can produce the biogas and resolve the energy crisis. So it is a very much need of the today that we have to invent such type of the method through which we can produce the energy. So this is basically a process in which the biodegradable waste such as food items, animal waste, or the organic industrial waste from the food packaging industries are sent to the biodegradation plant, and in biodegradation plant they are converted into the biogas by degradation with the help of the bacteria, fungi, and other microbes. And here are the organic matters serve as the food for such type of the microorganism, and they act on that of the organic matter and they convert it into the simpler one, and the degradation can happen aerobically, but that depend upon the type of the species of the bacteria. Either you are using the anaerobic bacteria or aerobic bacteria. So for that, it is totally your choice that you are going to uh, create such type of the a condition in which you can use oxygen or you don't want to use the oxygen. So for that, and accordingly you will select the species of the and the strains of the bacteria. Biogas is generated as a result of this process, which is used as a fuel, and the residue is used as a manure. So again, I think it's one of the best method through which we are producing two byproducts. The next one is the composting. And in composting, all the organic matter decompose with the time. For instance, food scraps, yard waste, such type of the waste make up for one of the major organic waste which we throw every day. So the process of composting starts with these organic waste being buried under the layer of the soil, and then the leftover was decay under the action of the microorganisms, such type of the bacteria and fungi, and this result in the formation of the nutrient rich manure. But in composting you are using the bacteria and fungi and especially all the microorganisms. But in the next method you are going to use the worms, which is known as vermicomposting. So you must distinguish between these two methods, that what is composting. That composting is a method in which you are using the organic waste and you are using the microbes, and that microbes results in the formation of the new nutrient rich manure, and this process ensures that the nutrients are replenished in the soil. Besides enriching the soil with the fertilizers with such type of the artificial methods, you are using the natural method and you are doing the dual role. You are managing the solid waste and you are increasing the fertility of the soil. So it is also one of the best method because again you are doing the dual role and the dual action. The next one is the vermicomposting. In vermicomposting, you are using the worms for degradation of the organic matter into the nutrient rich manner. And again, if you see this picture, that the vermicomposting is basically the earthworm utilizes the organic waste as a feed material, and the waste might be the agricultural residue, weeds, animal manure, or the industrial waste, but the industrial waste must be the organic waste. You can't use each and every type of the industrial waste in for the vermicomposting method. So you must go for the organic waste. So what will the result of the vermicomposting? So number one, it improves the plant growth. The yield of the plant enhances when you are using such type of the nutrients, which is the byproduct of the vermicompost. And second, it increases the microbial activity, and the microbes also uses the carbon dioxide as well. So it reduces the greenhouse effect. The third one is suppresses the plant diseases because it gives a very healthy soil environment to the plant. So it already suppresses the plant diseases. And again, once again, I have to accept the request. Okay, the next one is it enhances the water retention and aeration. The water holding capacity of such type of soil has been increased as compared to the normal soils, and the porosity and the pore structure of the soil also increased by using this method. And again, the soil environment will be enriched with the high content of the nitrogen, phosphorus, and the potassium. These three nutrients, these three elements are essential for the plant growth, and again it improves the nutrient recycling. So this is the method which is the vermicomposting, and now I'm moving towards the third subtopic, which is the landfill design and the management. So what is the landfill? Landfills are the sites designed to contain household trash that remain sealed to prevent any contaminant into the wastewater and into the environment. And this requires the level of the clay, flexible plastic that create the leachate to help to dry out the toxin from the waste. So before moving towards the next slides, I want to tell you that leachate is basically the mixture of the water and such type of the gases. That is basically a mixture of the liquid and the solid and the gases which has been in the landfill. So basically, there are the four critical elements in a secure landfill. The first one is the bottom liner. Second one is the leachate collection system. Third is the cover. Cover means the capping of the landfill. And the fourth one is the natural hydrological settings. Because before installation of any landfill, you people must know the hydrological settings of that location. So when you are going to select the land or select the area for the designing or for the installation of any landfills, so you must know the geochemistry of the soil and the hydrological settings of the soil as well. So if you see the picture, that's the first one is the top cover, which is known as the capping. And then from next to the top cover is the gas collection. There is a pump which has been created in the landfill through which we can collect the gas. And if you see to the top left, there is the methane production monitoring. So through this, you can insert any type of the instrument through which you can check the production of the methane. And again, the waste has been enclosed in the ground, which has been it is a hole in which the waste has been enclosed. And the uh, uh, then you there is a bottom liner. A liner is made up of such type of the clays, for example bentonite clay or any clay, and which is basically a seal so that the waste can't leach to the groundwater or to the soil. So in composition of the landfill, the liner is basically the most important factor. And there are basically three types of the liner. So first is the single liner. So the single liner system are made up of the concrete, asphalt, shingles, wood, bricks, and the glass are among the material used in the construction or any destruction. So the single liner systems are generally sufficient to safeguard the environment. Basically, a liner is a separation between the environment and the waste. So it depends upon the type of the waste. Either you want to install the single liner or the double liner or the composite liner. So it's basically these landfills were designed to include the paint or the liquid tar, and you can enclose the municipal waste or the treated timber. And again, this is the landfills are basically much less expensive, so there is a advantage that we are having the cost benefit analysis. And again, the double liner system in which you are going to insert two single liners or the two composite liners, which is known as a double liner, and such type of liner is used in the hazardous landfills. So the hazardous land, whenever you are going to design the hazardous landfill, you will adopt the two single liners together or the two composite liners. So I want to show you that this is the picture of the single liner, and it's the original picture, but this is the picture of the double liner, in which there are the two layers of the liner around the landfill. And the third category is the composite liner, in which a geomembrane with a clay liner make up a composite. So you are using a geomembrane and a clay. Clay, mostly we are using the bentonite in the landfill, and neither a clay liner nor a single geomembrane layer is as successful as a composite liner system. So if you want to use a single thing, yet you want to use a geomembrane only, or you want to use the clay, but you will not receive such type of the expected results, because the composite liner is considered as one of the strongest separation between the environment and the solid waste. And the landfills, such as municipal solid landfills and the hazardous landfills, in which we are going to manage the hazardous landfill, you will adopt the composite liner. So I want to show you the composite liner. This is the practical example of the composite liner, and this is the photo original image of the sludge ponds at the Physicians landfill, and it is situated in China. So the China has already adopted the such type of the landfills, in which they are using the composite liners, and in if the A figure, you are seeing the laying of the composite liner after solidification. So this is the process which is showing in the photography, is that the process in which the liner has been installing after the solidification. But in the second photo, you already see that it has been solidified over the sludge pond. So this is the practical example. So whenever you want to design any landfill in which you are going to manage the hazardous waste or the toxic industrial waste, you must adopt the composite liner. And next, we have that after the liner, the second most critical element of the landfill is the capping. The capping of the landfill is one of the most critical component, and is act as the barrier, and it act as the drainage layer as well. So the barrier layer can be below the permeability and geosynthetic clay liners. So basically, these two things are very important in cleaning the environment and in protecting the environment from the release of the leachate. So liner and the capping. The liner must be at the bottom of the landfill, and the capping must be at the top of the landfill. So a flexible geomembrane liner is placed on the top of the barrier layers. So basically, if I show you this figure, yeah, you can see that they are installed two liners in the hazardous waste dumping. So if they want to dump the hazardous waste, then you will adopt the such type of strategies, like you can install the liner at the bottom of the landfill and at the top of the landfill. But again, the capping is one of the important factor, in which when you finish all the process, you will cap the landfill, and which is very important, so that the capping will basically save the vegetation from the contamination. So moving towards the types of the landfills, there are three standard landfill types. The number one is the municipal solid waste, and the second one is the industrial waste landfill, and the third one is the hazardous waste landfill. Like if you want to decompose the waste, or if you want to install the waste which is very hazardous, you will adopt the hazardous waste landfill. So the EAT accepts the specific types of the waste and has the different practices to limit the environmental impact. Additionally, there is an emerging landfill known as green waste that allows for the controlled disposal of the organic waste, such as the leaves, and such type of the waste is known as the green waste. So first of all, the municipal solid waste landfill. It is the landfill is basically a discrete area of the land or the excavation that receives the household waste. It is basically a municipal solid waste landfill. So basically, we are receiving the household waste that may also receive the other type of the non-hazardous waste, such as commercial solid waste or the non-hazardous sludge as well. But all the small quantities of the generator waste and the industrial non-hazardous solid waste can also be managed through the municipal solid waste landfill. So this is the example uh, in which you can see that this is a waste, and they have designed the Vanny disposal landfill, which is situated in Dudley City of the USA. So this is a design for that landfill, which is currently in a, has been installed in USA. So if you see that it has three liners and the waste has been enclosed in a very safely manner. The next one is the if you want to install the municipal solid waste landfill, then you must meet the standard criteria. For instance, location restrictions. You must ensure that the landfill are built in a suitable geological areas away from the faults, wetlands, floodplains, or any other restricted area. And the second one is the composite liners requirement. So whenever you deal the municipal solid waste, you must use the composite liners. And the composite, I already told you that what are the composite liners, that the combination of the geomembrane and the clay. It's basically the composite liner. And again, the overlying of the 2 feet of the compact clay soil lining the bottom and the sides of the landfill. So the 2 feet of the distance must be placed between the waste and between the soil as well. So they are used to protect the groundwater and the underlying soil from the leachate releases. Leachate collection and the removal system must be properly installed, and the operating practices including the compacting and the covering waste frequently with the several inches of the soil. These type of the practices help to reduce the odor and control the litter as well as the insects and the rodents as well, and ultimately protect the public health. So before designing any type of the landfills, there is a standard criteria you must have to meet, and after that you will go for installation of such type of the landfills. The second type is the hazardous waste landfill, and in the hazardous waste landfill, specialized in the hazardous waste disposal, and this is exact opposite of the municipal solid waste. And these landfills do not collect the solid waste because it focus on the material that may be dangerous or the destructive. For instance, polyaromatic hydrocarbons, polychlorinated biphenyls, such types of the emerging contaminants. These type of the emerging contaminants are managed through such type of the landfills, and which exclusively work with such type of the materials like pesticides, surfactants, and um, insecticides as well. So standard for the hazardous waste landfills includes that it must contain the double liner. The double liner is the first requirement for installation of the hazardous waste landfill. The second is the double leachate collection and the removal system. And third is the leakage detection system. And the fourth one is the runoff, and the wind dispersal control system. Fourth one is the is the method which is used to protect the air. Last one is the construction of the quality assurance program, that you have to monitor the entire uh, operation, as well as you have to check and balance procedure has been very important in this process. You have to ensure that there are not the off-site or the on-site hazardous impacts on the environment or on any local people as well. So this is again the example of the hazardous waste landfill, and in which you can see that they has already installed the impermeable capping before. If you see this pad, you can see that they are protecting the vegetation topsoil, and after the vegetation there is a gravel and a layer of the liner as well. And after liner, like, they are installing the liner on the top and to the bottom as well. So they are using the double liner, and in the liner they are using the clay, mostly the bentonite clay. And again there is a layer of the sandy silt. Sandy silt is basically a specific type of the soil in which is basically much stronger than the porous clay or any other clay. So there are the leachate collection pipes as well, and again there is the upper liner and lower liner, and there is a proper check and balance for percolation of the water, so that we can protect our groundwater. So this is a design for the hazardous landfill. Moving towards the third one, which is known as industrial waste landfill. An industrial waste landfill is where the industry's waste is disposed of, while any type of the solid industries waste can be brought to these landfills, and they are most often used for the construction debris disposal, which is why they are commonly known as C&D, means construction and destruction landfills. So a construction and a destruction landfill receive the construction and demolishing debris, which typically consist of the roadwork material, excavated material, demolishing waste, construction and renovation waste, and the site clearance waste. And these type of the waste must have the following materials. For instance, if you want to dispose of the concrete, wood, asphalt, gypsum, metal, bricks, glass, you can adopt the industrial landfill. Yeah, I want to tell you one thing. Yeah, this is one of the wonderful picture I have found on the internet. So I will tell you about one by one these 16 steps. So first of all, the first step is a cell. This is a cross-sectional area of any landfill. So first step is the a landfill cell. So basically, a landfill cell is an open area in a landfill where the waste is placed, because mostly landfill basically composed of a one cell at a time. So when a one cell is filled, a new cell is open to accept the incoming waste. But before opening of the second one, you have to fulfill the space which has been left into the first landfill cell. The waste is placed and compact in each cell in a manner that protects the landfill liner and the landfill gas and the leachate collection system. But when you are moving towards the second one, the geosynthetic clay liner and the flexible membrane liner. So basically, the composite, this is basically an example of a composite liner. So the combination of a clay component directly overlain by the plastic liner to prevent the movement of the leachate and the liquid. For instance, you are preventing the leakage from the landfill. So for that purpose, a composite liner has been installed. So a composite liner is 1,000 times more resistance to the leakage than either the component used alone. So a composite liner is very, very beneficial for such type of the waste. If you want to dispose of such waste, you must install the composite liner. And then you will move to the third one, which is the daily cover. So the daily cover is basically a layer of the soil placed on the top of the compact waste at the working phase at the end of the each day. So the daily cover function to minimize the odor, pest and the rodents, and it also prevents the waste from being blown out of the cell and reduces the amount of the water that enter the cell. So this ultimately reduces the amount of the water that comes in contact with the waste and reduces the leachate production. All right. So you get the idea why we are installing the daily cover. So moving towards the fourth one. Fourth one is the drainage layer, and a drainage layer in the landfill leachate collection system that is designed for the removal of the liquid. And in this drainage layer, it is a component of the landfill of the detection system. So basically, this the fourth component, which is a geocomposite drainage layer, is basically used to prevent the leachate leakage system, basically. So because you are preventing the leakage of the leachate. Moving towards the fifth one, the final cover system. The final cover system or the final cover cap is basically used to close a landfill or a part of the landfill that is no longer accepting the waste, that is designed to keep the waste in place and prevent the water from entering the landfill. And the final cover system includes a layer of the clay or a plastic liner or a soil layer that is maintained with the shallow rooted plants such as grasses and the wildflowers as well. And when you are going to move towards the sixth one, which is the gas collection system. In gas collection system, a series of the pipe and the pumps used to collect and remove the landfill gases from the landfill. And this type of the landfill gas is a natural gas created from the bacteria by decomposing the waste, and it is made up of around 50% methane and 50% of the carbon dioxide. But when we move towards the seventh step, which is also the gas monitoring system, in this, what is the difference between these two gas monitoring system? That this is the gas collection and this is the monitoring. So the gas monitoring system, the gas samples whirls around the landfills that are monitored for the methane to detect and prevent the methane from moving below the ground. So this is basically a monitoring system. A monitor system which are going to monitor the methane, and it prevent the movement of the methane across the soil. For example, the landfills that have a gas collection system, the pipes are throughout the landfill used to collect the landfill gas are also monitored to ensure the landfill gas collection system is operating properly. So this gas monitoring system has two goals. One goal is that prevention of the methane movement, and the second one is the either the gas collection system is working well or not. Moving towards the eighth one, the groundwater monitoring system. A groundwater monitoring system whirls around the landfill that are routinely sampled and evaluated to detect a release from the landfill. So basically, this system has been installed to protect the groundwater. The ninth one is the interim cover. The interim cover is basically 1 foot of the compact soil placed on the top of the cell where the waste will not placed in the landfill for the 90 days. All right, this is the cover. If a interim cover has been placed on the upper side of the landfill, then you are unable to place any type of the garbage or any type of the waste for 90 days. So with the purpose of preventing of the storm water from coming into contact with the waste into the landfill. So the third one is the leachate collection system. And leachate collection system, a series of the pipe and the pumps are used to routinely remove the leachate setting on the top of the primary liner in a landfill, and a drainage layer is the part of the leachate collection system. So a leachate is a liquid basically that is released through the waste decomposition process, and is basically the rainwater that has come in contact with the waste in a landfill. Moving towards the 11th, which is basically a lift. So an 8 to 10 foot thick layer of the waste within a cell is known as a lift, which has been installed for a proper compaction. And the eighth one and the next one is the double composite liner system. A double composite liner system is a layer of the protection that must be installed to protect the groundwater and keep the waste and the leachate into the landfill. So every every element of the landfill must have a proper role. So, and these are the elements which are necessary for any landfills. Okay, moving towards the last one, which is a green waste landfill. While these are not officially sanctioned until now by the environmental protection agencies, but this is one of the newly developed type of the landfill in which you can dump the mulch, weed, leaves, and the tree branches, and all type of the biodegradable food waste. So the purpose of the green waste landfills is simple enough that they want to save the space in the municipal solid waste. So they are separating the green waste from the municipal solid waste. Okay, now what are the advantages and disadvantages of the landfills? So first of all, the advantages. So it is basically offering an effective waste disposal method. And the next one is the it gives a way for the production of the energy. And if there is a land which is abundant, you can use such type of the land for managing of the solid waste, and you can dump the waste into that landfill. And this method is a very economical because we don't use such type of the finance to install such system. It's a very simple. You just need a space for the landfills, and you just need to adopt the strategy, like I will use the two liners, or I will use the such type of the capping, and uh, you just have the way to dump a huge garbage in that landfill. So the cost benefit analysis is always there for the landfills. And the landfills again stimulates the recycling and the specific location for the disposal. So basically, when you want to dispose of the waste, you can select the location, and it is totally on your choice that either you want to choose the any place which is near to the mountains as well. So that is the choice of the location is on your own. So, and again, next is it offers a way to remove the recyclable material, and it is a very convenient method, and it offers the further research and development. Like you have a way to improve the currently existing landfills. So moving towards the disadvantages of the landfill is they are degrading the environment through the carbon monoxide and the carbon dioxide. They are polluting the air pollution, and again they are breeding the ground for bacteria and the pests as well, and for the microbes. And again, there is a solid waste accumulation, that we are accumulating a huge solid waste under the ground, and it is gives a hazardous waste challenge. Like if we enclose the landfill, and if we enclosed the waste, it basically offers the release of the leachate, which is basically a very hazardous waste. Again, the habitat destruction, and it takes a lot of the space. and it can contaminate the groundwater and the soil, and it has potential to pollute the surrounding air and the groundwater with the toxins. So these are the advantages and the disadvantages of the landfill. And I want to show you my own research paper, which one is on the assessment of the serious impact of the open dumping on the water quality of Nala Lai stream Rawalpindi. So basically, this is the assessment of the dangerous impacts on the local people by the dumping of the solid waste. And this was the first research article of mine. Now I have many more. So basically, if you want to write any research article, you can use this method. Like, you can survey such type of the area in which people are facing the problem of the solid waste management. You just fill out the questionnaire and you just formulate a report and publish it. So basically, I just did a small task, which is I designed the questionnaire, I visited the site, I filled out the questionnaire from the local people, and I just designed a report and published it. So if anybody or the any participant want to publish a report on the solid waste management, I will help you in that. And you can, sometimes some people need such type of the research paper for any promotion or for anything. So this is a very simple method to publish a paper. Otherwise, it's very difficult task to publish a research paper. So last, I want to say that landfills are necessary aspects of our waste management system, but they are posing a significant environmental and health risk. But if we modify the existing landfills, and if we build such type of the landfills that are well engineered and manage the facilities for the disposal of the solid waste, then the landfills should designs in such a way that they are operating and monitored to ensure the compliance with the standards. So if we modify the existing landfills to get rid the problem of the production of the odor, or the production of the methane, or the production of the greenhouse gases, so we will continue this practice and we will manage our solid waste. Before ending the lecture, I want to tell you guys that there is a plan which has been announced by the institute, that each person from you have to represent for 20 to 25 minutes. And if you want the topic for your presentation from me, I will suggest you. But if you want to present any topic of your own choice, you can present it. And I will WhatsApp you the schedule, that in the next classes, uh, who is the person is going to present. So for the first presentation, i want to I want that if a person comes and they comes as a volunteer, that I will present in the next class just for 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, this is not the way to judge the capability of the any student. This is just a practice of a learning. You can learn from this strategy. So for the next class, who will going to present?
What is the topic?
The topic will be your
Yeah.
own choice, or if you
Okay.
want to take suggestion, I will suggest you. But
Okay.
that is open choice.
Uh-huh. It's on environment. Or
Yeah, environment, and you want to present on.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. You can think about the topics, and you guys can tell me in the WhatsApp group. Uh, that I will present on the next Friday on this topic, so that the topic will not overlap with other students. So you just have to present for the 20 to 25 minutes. But if you want to longer the time span, that totally depend on you guys. Yeah, so Mr. Khan, you want to
Yeah,
present?
I will update you to the WhatsApp. No issue.
All right. You can message in the WhatsApp group
Okay.
that I will present on that topic in the next Friday. All right.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Okay. Thank you for today's
Thank you.
class.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.